feelings cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dawg. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you would.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I haven't seen you guys in a long time, but I wanted to talk about this because I feel like Potomac's getting ready to start, and I really want to talk about this because I feel like it's very important before we start getting into the reviews. So let's go ahead and play this intro, and let's get into this conversation. Let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every daily wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
All right, I am back. What's going on, y'all? So I definitely want to jump into this conversation with the Real Housewives of Potomac because we know that the season is getting ready to start. And put it one in the chat if you can hear me. Make sure everything is good. Can y'all hear me? While we're doing that, what's going on, Just D? Yes, let's get into some things, baby. Like the video on your way in, please do that. What's going on, Velda? What is going on, Velda? It's two Veldas. What's going on? Ranting, what's going on? And Wendy, what's going on? I'm good. All right, great. So I want to get into this because I know that we're getting ready to start reviewing the show when it comes in. What is going on, Her Majesty? Find me a hotter, sexier YouTuber than SoDeb. Oh, wait. Thank you so much. So I'm hoping that you guys can hear me. I see that it's just D said I'm good, but hopefully y'all all can hear me. But I want to get into some stuff. I'm actually going to drop the link early today because I want to talk about this. So I want to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac and this whole colorism thing because I want to know, do you guys think that this is going to ruin this franchise? Hold on, y'all. These are in the way. Hey, DV. Do you guys think that the colorism conversation is going to ruin this franchise? Because the more that I see it, the more I can see that this may not last long. And I hate that. You know, we've talked about this about Basketball Wives, but we're here with Potomac. And I want to talk about it with my subscribers. Again, I haven't been here in a while, so I know it's going to take some time for people to come in to know that I'm live. But I wanted to talk about this because do you guys think that? Like I said, it ruined basketball. It did. It totally did. Bravo being Bravo for me. Some stuff are a reach, but I will say I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all either. But I think because one, that Ashley and Candace are friends. Ashley and Candace are friends this season kind of destroys that narrative. So I really just I'm like, let's get on the live and let's talk about it with the subscribers. Hey, my big sis speaks, and thank you for becoming a member once again. I definitely appreciate it. And you guys can become a member whenever you want to. Just hit that link button and become a subscriber. I mean, a member. 90% of it is a reach. Now, where's the other 10%? I want to know that. It's ruining it for me. Yeah, it ruins it for me too to watch it. As you guys know, me and Biz, we do review the show. What's going on, my big sis speaks? Me and Busy review the show, and our conversations have been a lot about the colorism of the show. And a lot of times, like, I wish that wasn't the case because I really just want to watch the show for fun and talk about it. But it brings up like heavy conversations. Yes, but that's why they want Ashley and Candace to be friends for that. I'm sure they hype Ashley up to make it right. I could see that. I could see that. Hey, what's going on, Ranty?
Hey, I just had a whole conversation. Hold on.
Okay.
About this over on Scotty's channel.
Okay.
I think
Shout out to Scotty's channel. What's this? What is it?
Scotty by Nature.
It's Scotty by Nature. Shout out to Scotty by Nature. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel.
And it was a colorism. Is it like colorism or likability? And I said it's a mix of both.
And I wanted to get into that conversation. So hold off on that because I didn't even get to see his live, but I'm glad that he did because I just kind of want to get into that in a little bit. But I just want to know at the beginning, like, does this ruin this show?
I think when it comes down to this show, if in my head where I can see this going, because it seems like every woman on the show who happens to either be a darker brown skinned girl or a dark skinned woman tends to get that iced out or like have the goalpost move for them, like, this person said this, but you can't say that, or this person did this.
It's like the kiss of death, right?
Yeah, this person did this, but you can't do that. So then it's just like, well, is it colorism? In a sense, like, is this what's going on? Because y'all moved the goalpost for people. Right. And in a sense of it ruining the show, no, what I think would ruin the show is y'all trying to have multiple shades of khaki on the show, and then that's just it. What's ruining the show is people not having storylines and not giving nothing, and we have to be subjected to them every season. Now, y'all, if y'all can have a real conversation about what's going on, then nobody would have a problem. But if y'all gonna be sitting up here arguing and fussing and cussing at each other about this whole thing, now that there is gonna ruin the show because they hold the Potomac ladies to a different standard, because it's just like,
well, but the Potomac ladies also held their self to a different standard too. So that's also something they brought themselves. Let me say what's up too. This is Zephora, I think she says, I can see both sides. What's going on, Jennifer? Hey, so Deb in chat listening while I finish up some dishes. HSD said, all that mess that Candace said about Ashley, then Ashley not having Michael to hype up her storyline. Yeah, needed that friendship to mend. What's going on, Popcorn? She also said, I agree with Ranting. What happened is to actually seeing Housewives luxury lifestyles and looks. So okay, yeah. So yes, so I agree with you though.
Oh, what happened to the housewives serving luxury and looks? Well, then they started getting people who don't have luxury nor looks and brought them on the show who also don't have storylines. And then once again, like I said, we're subjected to them because they got casted for the show and they like to fake the funk. And then when people call them out on it, like somebody I know, she by Alibaba, then it's like y'all hate these people. But
let's get into that.
Yeah, I don't want to ever get, oh, child, that's a lot. It was a lot. But because you was there when I did that, went through the whole website, but
right,
they're not serving luxury and looks anymore because we're in a whole, like, this is no longer 2008. This is no longer 2007. 2006 for one of the shows. We are no longer in the 2000s. We are in the 20s. And at this current moment, I believe a lot of people are very hypersensitive to the things that go on around them. A lot of people in our community, Black community, are waking up to the stuff that, really hasn't been talked about. I was like, to speak on like Black history very quickly, I was like, I learned more about Black history from TikTok or some of the people around me than I ever learned in school. And I always felt like y'all decided to teach us Black history at the end of the year because it's almost summertime. Nobody's really focusing on it. And we're more likely to forget that until we come back for the next year and we start all over again.
Let me ask you this. So DV said Kenya plays the same role on Real Housewives of Atlanta that Gizelle plays on Potomac, and it's okay for Kenya, but Gizelle gets dragged. So who's really being subjected to colorism? How do you feel about that?
Okay, so some
'Cause
people.
I think it's the other way around, honestly. I think that Kenya has been playing this role for a very long
Yeah.
time. And then Gizelle came in and played the role, and it's okay for Gizelle, which I can see why people would say the colorism part, but I also think that Gizelle gets away with more than Kenya does, because when Portia dragged her, it was okay. Then Gizelle went and vouched for Candace when they got into the fight with Monique.
And that was a
So I
big
feel like
topic.
the cast members kind of make it that way. I don't think that the viewers thought it that way, because people they were glad that Portia dragged Kenya.
Because
They
they didn't
drag
like
Kenya
her.
all the time. Yeah. And I think that, to me, I think that's more what it's about. They just don't like the person. What's going on, Lamar? And they say what's up to this is Aphora. Celia, is it? Oh, Stella. I'm sorry. Stella said it's colorism, the same as racial discrimination.
Colorism is,
I
I
just
see it as, I see it as, okay, and this, I could be wrong, but for me, I see colorism as what we do to each other and how we treat each other because we all come in different shades. Like us Black people, we brown skin, we all come in different shades. It could be the
can
lightest
I
of the light.
can I ask you this real quick?
Yeah.
We pride ourselves on being Black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any shade of Black that we are, we always pride ourselves on being different type of melanin.
Yeah.
But then we have this colorism title. And to me, I just feel like it's not fair, because, and I think I said this when me and Busy were doing our reviews on Potomac. People always talk about the light skin and the dark skin, but that middle, like our brown skin, us people,
Yeah.
like we don't exist.
I think like colorism, while it's something that
Oh, hold on real
like
quick. Thank you, Stella, for the super chat.
super chat. Thank you,
Go ahead.
Stella.
Go ahead.
Colorism, while it's very rooted amongst us, it once again comes from the racist history that there is. There was a highlight of, you know, you're putting these you put the light skinned Black people or maybe the biracial Black people on a pedestal, even though biracial children are a toss up of who they gonna look like, in
Right.
my opinion. But you put them on a pedestal, and even then it's just like the pedestal that, the people like say, so you have the house N words and then you have the field N words, and the
Right.
house N words were put on this pedestal of they're better so they get to work in the house, when you don't know the horrors of what was going on in that house when they were in there versus.
And we didn't choose that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But it's just like that's where all of this is coming from. It's rooted
Right.
in all of that. And in the time, people don't realize we pass on a lot, like this gets passed on to generations, and it's ingrained in our DNA, even if people don't believe it, because it's just
Right.
like, why is it that people get so angry with their children to where they can't express why they're upset with their child with their words, and they're frustrated, so you can't express it with your words, so then you have to do what was done to our ancestors in the past because you can't verbally communicate that I don't like that you did this,
Right.
so I'm going to need you to stop, or I need you to go to your room. There are ways to do things, but it's so heavily rooted in like the racist history. And I also want to point out to people that racism is not just a thing in the United States. It's a thing all over the
Well,
world.
let's actually read this, because Tier's opinion,
Yes, it does.
which my mama says colorism occurs in other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So what you getting ready to say, that's very true. And I just feel like, and I think this is what me and Busy were kind of arguing about, is that it's just, I know that colorism only exists in like two different spaces in our community, but it really should exist in the full community of Black people because one, we celebrate the different colors of melanin, right?
Yes.
And then, but then it comes back to, and it's like, well, then some of us get treated differently, which we do know that that's very true.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just not that.
There's a truth.
Sometimes you just don't like, you are not likable. Sometimes it's just like, we're just not feeling you for real. And
Like,
it doesn't really matter. Like, that's what TV's for, though.
it's your energy, it's your personality, it's something about you. It's not your looks, it's not the way you look, it's not your features, it's not your hair, it's
Right.
not how you dress, it's none of that. It's something about
Because
you.
nobody's ever said, "Oh, Candace is so ugly," or
No, she's
"Wendy is
beautiful.
so ugly." Like, nobody's ever said that.
They're beautiful.
So when they bring that in
Well,
there, it's like,
no.
well, where are we getting this from? They're like, well, they're treating them different because Gizelle came. I'm like, no, we trash Gizelle like all the time.
No,
Like,
okay,
we all do.
so here's the thing with that. So I was like,
Hey,
oh,
real quick. Hey Fifi and hey Lala. So I want to share stuff out everyone. Go ahead.
okay, so because then I want to get back to the whole Kenya Gizelle comment too.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing of how this actually came up. So I didn't hear anything about it because, like I said, this is going to be my first time this season for this. What is it, season 7? This would be my first time.
Is this season 8 or season 7?
This is season 7. Last year was season 6. So this is going to be my first time reviewing the show. I've just been watching it and listening to other people's reviews. So this would be my first time reviewing the show for this season. Now, with that being said, I don't fault, like I preface this every time I do my own stuff. I say I don't follow these people after I get done like reviewing these shows. I don't follow them. I tend to not I don't follow anything they got going on social media. For the simple fact is, I don't care. I don't know them, so I don't know they live. So unless it's something that like it's a continuous thing because it happened on the show and then it continues off the social media, then I talk about it, and then I like to follow the story just in case it's something I want to talk about. So with the Candace and Wendy stuff, while we don't talk about them as in they're ugly or anything else, you have trolls calling them ugly. You have trolls coming at them for their looks, and that's what their timelines are looking like.
But I think that's where we have to draw the line because it's not like we're not saying that.
Yeah. So
it's like, and so, but like you have trolls, I have trolls. Like if you're a part of social media, you have trolls, especially if you have a platform, you have trolls. And I feel like we should not put that off on everyone else because again, like there's a whole space. And let me say, what's going on, Oval, the comedian? Make sure y'all subscribe to her channel, by the way.
Hey, Oval.
But I don't want to, and I think this is what me and Busy's like biggest argument was, is that I feel like, yes, there is a dark skin, light skin situation, but there's also people that are not on either spectrum of those things, and we're not in any of those conversations, and we get treated bad too. Yes. But there's no plight about the brown skin people at all. You know what I mean?
With the brown skin people, sorry to cut you off. With the brown skin people, I always hear it's either, from the few times I've saw this happen to us brown skin folks, because it's just like we in the middle.
We're in the middle.
We're in the middle, okay? Sometimes it's you get told, like, from what I've heard and what I've seen, it hasn't happened to me, but sometimes for some of the brown skin people, from the dark skin people, they get told that you're too light, and then from the light skin people, they get told you're too dark, and it's just like at some point, all three groups, y'all gonna have to come together and have a conversation, because at this point, I'm tired.
Like, and I think that's where it comes to for me, because honestly, like, to me, like if you see me in real life, I'm brown skinned.
Me
but
too.
People say, "Oh, you're light skinned. You're light skinned." I have like 3 ring lights on me. I definitely look light skinned, but I'm not. I'm brown skinned, and people say that all the time. Like literally, I'm a brown skinned guy. If I go out, people will never call me light skinned. They will say I'm a brown skinned person.
Yep.
And there's no plight for brown skinned people. There's always one for light skin and dark skin. There's this colorism thing, and I think a lot of people that I know, in any shade, they celebrate dark skin and they celebrate light skin and they celebrate my skin tone. So yes. I think that it's about us celebrating each other as Black people, because we are able to have different types of skin tones, because no other race can do that.
No, and black women, we can have any type of child. We like legit can create any type of child we want to have.
Yes. So let me read some more comments. Tier said, them trolls must be unemployed because they be everywhere.
Definitely got too much time on their hands since you've
Um,
been away.
this is, and Forrest said, colorism doesn't mean just a person's looks. It could be that some people see darker skin as more aggressive when others give the same energy. They don't
Hmm.
get called aggressive. That's true. Candace is beautiful, but can't stand her character. Gizelle is pretty, but don't like her either. Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. What's going on, young Rich? Protect the queen. Protect the queen, Candace. Whatever they did, they lied on her. And I'm sick of it. She needs the protection. And so, Deb, no, you don't. You didn't use the thumbnail with her in. I mean, that was the one that I seen, so that's the one I used. My big sis said that is true. Velda, okay.
So
What's going on, Cups? Hey,
here comes
Cups.
the conversation. I
I
want to
just want to
say,
protect my energy. AC, hold on, let me say what's up to everybody.
yeah,
Um, as you said, it's just he said the same for me. I never said when Candace threw that salad at Mia. I want to talk about this too. Mia, everybody almost went to hell over it, but when Mia throws a drink at Wendy, it gets called iconic. That's an example of hypocrisy. No, I want to talk about that.
that was
So,
a waste of a good salad.
what's going on, prosperity theory girl? So, I want to talk about that.
Can
So,
I?
what I don't like is this.
Mhm.
How many shows have we seen people throw drinks on people?
Ooh, I got a whole list. I made a whole list.
Okay. And so it wasn't because Mia threw a drink. Now, maybe the way that she threw it was iconic, but it wasn't because she threw a drink on somebody. When Candace threw that salad on to Mia,
A waste of a good salad.
the first thing people thought was, now why is she throwing things? Because the last time when she got into a fight, she was putting up sticky notes saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, because she got into a fight. That's why people were saying stuff. It wasn't because the difference between a drink and salad. Like I don't like that comparison.
It was a waste of a good salad. So,
And yes, Tammy did it. I don't think Tammy did the best. I think that Jennifer's ex-husband did it the best.
ooh, child, because he showed it like,
I mean, when
ooh.
he threw that drink and he threw it for real. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
go
what
ahead.
what this came up with, like how Candace and Wendy were speaking on it. So it's
Mhm.
not just the fact that they have trolls in their comments, it's also the fact that I guess when this originally, like the story came out of a drink being thrown, it originally got put on Candace by the fans, and just like the, sometimey watchers and the trolls was like, this definitely had to be Candace, this definitely had to be Candace. And then they start
With
going in
Mia and with Mia and
Wendy when that situation happened.
they said
But
it must
Candace,
be Candace.
yes, they said it must be
I never
Candace
seen
when
that.
this. That's the thing. I never saw it either, but I guess when they hit the blogs when this happened, they were talking about it must be Candace. Candace had to do this. Candace had to do this. So you had
But
the
see,
people who don't.
that's the bias though, because
Yeah.
she had nothing to do
So
with it.
right, she wasn't there.
For
That's the
what we
thing.
know. For what we know.
No, she wasn't there. They said Candace wasn't even there, so it wasn't her. But
Yeah.
when the people heard that a drink was thrown, they automatically put it on Candace. And then you had fans, the people who don't like Candace. And let me tell you something. The reason why I'm upset with Candace right now is not because of the way she looked. It's nothing else. It's the fact that she didn't get that Kleenex deal after we said multiple times, if you're going to be
Listen.
blotting the eye, get you a Kleenex deal. But I continue. So you had the sometimey fans, the trolls coming after Candace. And then they put out that no, it wasn't Candace. Candace wasn't there. It was Wendy. So then when it got put on Wendy because she was in a situation, they felt like Wendy threw the drink, not a drink was thrown on Wendy, and then they start coming for her. So then when we see the trailer and we see that no, Wendy didn't throw a drink. Wendy was just sitting down, and Karen was like, I don't know why Karen was backed up like that,
Karen was
but
like,
like it was Wendy sitting
I know
down,
I ain't gonna
and
get I ain't gonna get wet.
right. And then Mia tosses the drink on Wendy. I
Yeah.
personally had a problem with it because I
Well,
feel
we don't
like
even know if it got thrown on Wendy, because from what we've seen, we don't know if it hit Wendy or not.
that's the thing, but it was tossed in her direction. So it's just like, you
Right.
don't toss no drink around my house. You better drink it and bet not spill it. But
But
it's
why
just
is
like,
she any different than anybody else that's been on reality TV? People been throwing drinks.
yeah, but that's the thing. When it was like first they thought it was Candace who threw the
And
drink.
why would she waste a whole drink on Wendy?
I don't know why you like not even because it's Wendy. Why are you wasting drinks? Period.
Period.
We are in a
Yes.
it's a recession, inflation, girl, quit. But it got put on Candace. Then they felt like, oh, Wendy threw the drink when Wendy's name was just in the mix because the drink got tossed her way. We don't know if it hit her, but it got tossed her
We
way.
don't even know what she said to her either. So I
So
mean,
it's just like
different
they
thing.
were calling them aggressive. They were saying, well, Wendy and Candace are getting their karma for everything they did. And then you had people talking about their looks. So then this is what causes Wendy to say something because it's just like, now see, y'all ain't saying nothing because she tossing the drink my way. Where's the vitriol for her? And I said once again, don't be wasting no drinks.
Right.
And then Candace chimes in and it's just like, why don't a lot of people have a problem with me
Because
throwing the drink?
they want to create this narrative of the colorism thing. And I think it's the
And I'm
worst thing
so
for
proud
black
of her.
people, especially for black shows. And I've said this about Basketball Wives. I think it's the worst thing to say because it's the best way to get canceled. Period.
But there's
Because this is what we do to each other. The reality is, you sign up for a reality show. You watch people throw drinks for years before you even sign up for one. And yes, Potomac was like, "Oh, we're high class." Karen was like, "We have etiquette," but we've seen for years that that's just not true. So I want to read some more comments real quick before Prosperity Thinker says something. Anything. This is the force that I think the arguing between the same people is getting old for all of the franchises. For example, Karen and Gizelle, which I so agree with, and nobody talks about Karen and Gizelle and their arguments. So if there's,
I talked about that.
why are they doing it? But let's keep going. This is also a part of running the show for me. We want something new and fresh. Now, and what's going on? Her Majesty says people like to claim colorism. If Ashley called Candace a slave to Chris, they would have been still talking about it and using it as a colorism example. Yep, and I'm gonna give y'all another example in a minute. Ain't no wine getting okay. Yummer said that's not the case, and this is what I want to get to. That's not her fault. KFC still has to give Keely Williams a KFC deal. I blame the companies for missing the bag.
No, it's
My
okay.
other thing is
You're
this.
gonna have to get got.
My other thing is this, and I think I just forgot what I was going to say. Somebody says something
About the colorism, why we don't talk about it when the light-skinned people do it to the dark-skinned people. And that's what I want to know. What do we call
Or
it
I
then?
want to the light-skinned people because Karen and Gizelle been doing this for years. It's never been a problem for anybody.
Karen,
When Portia dragged Kenya, nobody cared.
I just said that on somebody else's channel.
Hold on, because I wrote some stuff down.
Okay.
So when Portia drug Jamie, because Jamie wasn't light skinned, when she beat her up in the parking lot or in the alley, nobody cared. We already talked about Karen and Gizelle. Monique and Candace were both brown skinned women, and they weren't calling it that. What about Charisse? Remember when Candace was calling her a geriatric grandma?
Well, I call Charisse the grandmother of the bride.
Candace has been trolling Ashley for years.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's been like, oh, it's colorism. Is there a different word for brown skin or darker skin people doing that?
That's what I want to know.
Because that's to me, that's the part that bothers me. It's like, and like I said before, what about the brown skin people? Like, there's space for us where we do something bad? Do people even know that that's a thing? Because colorism hasn't been brought up in years for the stuff that's been going on reality TV. And my other ones were Monique and versus Gizelle, because Gizelle has been attacking Monique since she's been on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was talking about colorism at that point. And I think that was the last one I had on, but Gizelle never liked Monique.
She didn't. It was after the conversation of, oh, you're looking for a home? No, I have four homes. I'm just looking for another one.
And 4 homes really bother her, in which we all understand why, because she had no homes.
Because she lives in a crack house.
She lives in a radio shack where she does oil changes and she does auto changes for people. So
that's AutoZone, boo.
attacking Monique. Like, why was that not a big issue? Why like the colorism thing? Like, to me, and again, because of basketball, I bring this up. I don't think these are the shows for that. Like, if you want to deal with colorism, do it outside of the show. Deal with real colorism, where people are doing this, because I do know that my sister is a darker skin color, and people didn't like her because she was a darker skin girl. But they weren't doing what these girls are doing on these shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't scream colorism to me. What it screams is that I need a bigger storyline than you. So I'm gonna scream colorism, because even with Wendy, like, they weren't really screaming that until she pointed out Robyn, and because she never even screamed out anybody else. Remember on the reunion, she was like, "Right, Robyn," and Robyn's like, "Why are you pointing me out?" So we don't even know what Robyn even said or did on that season, because she was never biased towards Wendy that season. And then Wendy went off on her about her whole relationship. Nobody was like, "Oh, it's colorism because Robyn is talking so bad about Wendy's talking about bad about her relationship." Like, at what point do we really point this out, and when does it make sense for everybody? And then when are the fans able to just enjoy a show that we like?
They don't. They can't. It got to be an issue with something. They got to make an issue with something. Reality TV is not even fun anymore because of the
I don't
thing.
even mind, making an issue out of things, but when it's something that big,
It's my new thing.
and I'm gonna go back to Basketball Wives, because when it was OG, I hated it because I knew the reason why she did it. They just didn't like you. You dressed bad. Your wigs were bad, but they did it with every girl. It didn't matter what skin tone you were. They did it with every girl that came on the show. Now we're on Potomac. Atlanta never had this issue, and they've had Claudia Jordan.
But that's because
they've had Kim, what's her name, Kim Zolciak, who was white, and it was never a racist thing until Nene got off the show.
And I want to point out.
So then, why are we pinning colorism off on this show? Yes, this was a show full of light skinned women, but Charisse was there.
Grandmother of the bride.
And Charisse was a horrible housewife.
Why
she keeps back on the show. She's back just as a friend of the show. Like, to me, like, when do we kind of point out the fact that this is a bad cast member?
Listen, they could point out colorism.
And people don't get along sometimes, but it ain't always no damn colorism.
Here's the thing. The best way to point out colorism is not with Wendy and it's not with Candace, because the only way for us to know that's exactly what's going on in this show is to watch this season. We can't say what's going on social media because it could be that from other people. Now,
if who you can colorism though, ranting, then why are Ashley and Candace friends this season?
I don't know. I don't know why they're friends.
It doesn't make sense.
But here's the thing. I said, if it's like for colorism, if you want to use two people on the show to prove a point of colorism and not what's going on the show, but they're going to talk about it because it's their podcast, you have to use Gerald and Rick James in that podcast in the way they talked about that man down to that show. That there was colorism. And we're probably that was colorism, and we're going to hear about it on the show because it's the only thing they have going on.
It's not with the girls on the show, though. That's my thing.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's women that don't get along sometimes. It's women that's gonna fight and be friends again. Right. It's the audience that does all of these things, and then because they want to have a spot on the show and they want to have their fans, then they pick it up and be like, "Oh yeah, it was colorism. I did see that. Now it's colorism." But when y'all was videoing it and y'all was taping the show, y'all wasn't thinking about no damn colorism. It don't become colorism until the fans get involved on social media.
Because they wasn't saying to a fan said this is colorism. Then all of a sudden this is a thing, and it's trickled down from show to show. And to me, it cancels out the black shows that we like, because the reality is that's not what it is. Now, can I agree with the fact that people overdo it with Candace? Yes. Yeah. Because I think that they're all nasty to each other. I can agree with that. Although throughout the years I've said, you know what, I don't like Candace, her mouth is foul. Everybody's mouth has been foul. Like, even I think me and Biz have been going back and forth about this, but I can agree with, Karen's mouth been foul. Gizelle's mouth been
Yep,
foul.
her ass is good.
All of them.
Robyn popped up at Ashley's job trying to fight her. So this all been foul.
So I'll give
but
examples.
Colorism is not the issue.
So I'll give examples of foul people having.
Hey, Just D.
I'll give examples of people having foul mouths, and then if Candace says something, then the goalpost gets moved, because I said it, like the goalpost is getting moved. So Karen, even though I like Karen, you insinuated that Gerald had a hot box and it was burning and itching and scratching, and that lady's mental health was waning, so they had to have a 5150 on her. That's having a foul mouth, because you don't insinuate anything about anybody's vagine area or their mental health, especially if you don't know anything about it.
But she was talking about Ray having a
little, so she started that, and
it wasn't like she started the conversation.
But that's the thing.
It's not like Karen. It was not like Karen just made it up in her head.
No, that's the thing. It was like, not saying she made it up. I was like, foul mouths, because I was going to get on to Gizelle and the things that she's done as well, but they have foul mouths. They do things and making up rumors and trying to start stuff with people.
The thing with Karen and Gizelle is that they make up, and you know why? Because it's not real beef.
They know,
no, not at all.
Oh no, I wasn't.
It's never real beef.
No,
if Karen and Gizelle start beefing at the beginning of the season, they're going to make up. Like we all know that they've done it every
reunion.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I wasn't going to say, oh my God, I'm just going to stick to them. I was also going to go into the fact that really we wouldn't have to sit up here and deal with what's possibly about to come if y'all wouldn't have sat up there at that man's baby shower and tried to figure out a way to destroy somebody's life. Because why would y'all insinuate, and this is my thing, the goalpost gets moved.
The brown skin woman.
Why would you insinuate that this woman was cheating on her husband with her trainer and that child was not his? So then you like to call her husband aggressive and even more, and then it's a problem, which then it leads us to season 5, 6, and now we in 7 because of the things y'all did at the end of season 4. We are now here. The fact that while I don't believe Candace had anything to do with it, she got kind of blamed for it. But she did.
I think they set her up. They set her up.
Yeah, they absolutely set her up. And they knew she was going to fall for it anyway. Candace,
right.
I think she didn't have the backbone to even speak up, because she looked at it like these are the cool girls. It pays better to be in with the cool girls than to stand up and be a real woman. And
we watched her first season do that.
Yep.
Do y'all not remember this season when she came onto the show?
That's the thing.
She does it every season.
She was literally crying because Gizelle didn't went and talked to her. Remember, that was the season that Monique and Gizelle got along, because she was sitting there calling that she was mad because Chris was calling her a princess. So we know that that's true.
And
she does it every season. So Deb, she does it every season, that she wants Gizelle and them to be her friend every damn season, and she goes with them. And then when it's something that she doesn't like, then she wants us to have her back on it.
And then we see this.
But I'm hoping that this season, because she's friends with Ashley, that's over.
Especially with the fact that Jeffrey the Giraffe and people have a problem with me, oh, you're just saying that, calling these people these names because you don't like, you're jealous of them, or you're trying to make fun of the way they look. No, I'm calling them these names because I don't like them. They're not my type of people. Their energy and my energy, if we met in real life, wouldn't mesh based off the way they move in real life and on this show. Now, here's the thing. We see this in the sense of people want to be a part of the cool crowd, and they figure out who's the cool girls on the show, because it's real high school. All these shows real high school, and I thought we left high school alone. I'm 5 years out of high school. I thought I left that back then. Okay, but we see this where, Sanya, perfect example. She realized that, Drew wasn't everybody's cup of tea. So she decided to not only drop Drew and not drop Drew.
Sanya screwed over everybody. Like it wasn't just Drew.
But that I'm talking about in
blame her for Drew. Like she screwed over Kenya, Candy, Drew, Sheree, Marlo. Like she did everybody.
You playing chess?
But she screwed over Drew the most, though. Yeah, she did screw over Drew
the most with Drew. No, she really screwed the most with Kenya and Candy, because that was the main goal. Because when Marlo came up and said, do you think the reason why she invited her to that, whatever it was, that photo shoot, was because they had the most followers? That's when it was pointed out that she was using them.
Yes, but
yeah, but she screwed over Drew to beef with them.
That's the point I was getting to. I was like, you find out who's the cool girls on the show, and if you know that there is somebody that they don't really like that, or is not really well liked by the fans or the people on the show, then you try to liken yourself to them and want to be their friends and be cool with them. The way Sanya messed up is because it was pointed out that, hey, it does look like she's using it all for these followers. And then everything that continued after, and her trying to check Kenya, and it didn't work out for her. You see that on, okay, I don't think y'all watch Beverly Hills, but you see it on Beverly Hills with the way that you have a lot of people flip-flopping between, are you down with Sutton, Kathy, and Garcelle, and sometimes Crystal, or if you down with these other, or if you down with these other people. And it's just like, you see this all the time. It's high school. You look for the popular girls, and if you can get in, you follow them. But the moment they do something you don't like, say something you don't like, or turn on you, then you got to go up for not only yourself, but now you want people to tag along and, be with you. But it's just like, you had no problem.
Well, I want to.
You had no problem when they were dragging everybody else.
I want to answer this question from DV. Do you think Wendy and Candace are weaponizing colorism?
Yes, they are.
I do. I absolutely do, because I don't think that there's colorism going on in the show. Because if that was the case, then Sharice would have said it when it first started.
Mm-hmm. And Monique would have said it when it first started.
Sharice was been on that show, and she still keeps coming back. If colorism was the problem,
nobody
why
wants her back.
You coming back?
Nobody does.
Because she wants a check.
No, she was there from the beginning.
Yeah, but she's coming back because she want to check.
She wants to check now, but I'm saying, if colorism was the problem, why was she there from the beginning?
Because it's no colorism. These people are these are people projecting onto all of these shows.
No, but that's the point that's what I'm making. The point that I'm making. There's no colorism. The colorism, I think the problem is that I don't like you-ism. And that's the thing. Like, I don't have to like you because we're on the show together. And Atlanta has showed you that. Like, just because we're on the show together don't mean we have to like each other, period. But pulling up colorism is so detrimental to a black show.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that they keep doing this because, again, somebody pointed out earlier in the show, in the comments about Basketball Wives, it was like, oh, I think it was Young Rich said it was canceled before it was boring. No, Basketball Wives was fine before then. It was fine. It was not fine. It wasn't fine before then. It was fine before then because people were watching the show because we liked to watch them. Because they didn't care what color you was. They were still fighting you.
Exactly.
It didn't matter. So they are using it. Like once it was said on Basketball Wives, now everybody's saying it's color.
Everybody.
So, everything. Period. And to me, it's so unfair because, again, when Jennifer and Kristen and Malaysia, I don't think Malaysia is dark skin, but I'm going to just say Jennifer. And when Kristen said, well, we're the same skin tone as them, OG changed it to, well, it's your features. Now it's featuring. Mm-hmm. No, that's not colorism. That's featureism. So what is it? Like, don't bring down our shows that we like to watch because you have an issue, because you are not comfortable with who you are. Because honestly, if OG came in and she was a bad looking good with her great clothes and her good wigs, nobody would have talked bad about her. Like no one would, because OG's a beautiful lady. But she came in looking bad. And so, yes, they made fun of her just like they did Tammy. And Tammy's not a dark-skinned lady.
And Tammy ain't ugly.
So
she's not. But when Tammy started changing how she looks, clothing-wise, and wearing better wigs, they never made fun of her anymore. So that's exactly all. You cannot come on these shows and then when they haze you about how you look, be upset and then make it a a colorism problem. Because what it does is it brings down the shows that we watch because now people don't want to watch it. And I don't like that.
So
I think
reality TV is not what it used to be.
I don't want to see Potomac go down this road.
Well, okay, so I have something to say about reality TV not being what it used to be. So I'll start with that.
Well, real quick, because I want to read this from Young Rich. Young Rich said, after Gizelle lied, saying Chris wanted to sleep with her, that friendship is done and over.
It needs to be.
And she said, not too much on the queen of her House of Atlanta, because she thinks that Sonya is the queen of her House of Atlanta.
She's not.
And what does she do? She is not. But Young Rich, because Young Rich follows me on Twitter, and Rich always says that. She said, "What did she do to Candy? She betrayed Candy because she tried to use her for her followers." And then she said, "Drew and Sonya wasn't ever friends." Now I agree with that.
Here's the thing.
They weren't, but she was trying. She was pretending to be that girlfriend when she first got on that show.
You know that's what they have to do.
So
they've already.
No, I'm saying no. She was pretending as in scenes, not saying that they were real friends off the show. I'm saying in the scenes, she was acting like she liked that girl until she realized that Candy and them could put her in a better position.
But they've already said that they bring these people on the show to be friends, and they're not really friends. So we know that.
I know that. That's not what I said. I said in this thing, when they first got on this show, she was at Drew's house. She was loving Drew. She was laughing with Drew. But then when she found out that Candy and Kenya could get her further, she dropped Drew like a bad habit, and she went. Then she started flip flopping between all of the girls.
She was at Drew's mother's
I don't even know how
party.
she became friends with Marlo.
She was at Drew's mother's birthday party. Like, that's the thing. It was like Tanya and Drew weren't friends. No, they were. They weren't like, oh, we're best friends and, we go everywhere together and all this. But they, had like a good little, we starting out as friends because that lady was down at her mama's birthday party. So
no, that's because they paid her for that.
Paid her to be at the birthday party when the birthday party.
No, they paid her to be friends to her because that's what they do. They've all the shows have already explained the fact that they bring somebody on that says they're friends because they had to break them on in some type of capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So
they can't just pop up.
Drew were never friends, and Sonya really lets you know that they were never friends because she never was a friend to Drew at all.
She's not a friend of nobody. So let's move on from Rusty Golds because she make my pressure rise. So speaking about how
Young Rich said just like Portia and Fallon, because I mean now she's married to her
exactly.
That's very true.
Speaking about how reality TV is not the same anymore. The reality TV that we knew in the 90s, early 2000s, 2010s, and now is not the same because times are changing. And like I mentioned at the beginning, when it was just me and SoDeb, people are starting to learn about different things. Like I also said this on Scotty. I said people learn these words: colorism, misogynistic, narcissism, gaslighting, woman hater. They learn a whole bunch of words. Most of them don't even know what the words mean or what's behind it or examples, and then they like to throw it out at you. I didn't know what the word gaslighting meant until somebody gave me an example, and then I said, oh, I've been through this, so I get it. That's when I was like, oh, okay, so I get it, and I can use it in the sense of what happened to me. Now, reality TV not being what it is, you also have to think about it's the social media age. You're not getting these real authentic people. You're not getting these people where you learn things about them as the show goes along, because now you have social media. You already know everything about them, or you find out that they want to be on these shows.
But you don't know everything about them, and that's the thing. It also goes back to the word you said before that was gaslighting. They gaslight the viewers to believe things, and so now this is my thing, like. Because I always say with Basketball Wives, like I don't want people to be gaslit at colorism or this is such a toxic show. No, it's just a reality show. Because what reality show are you watching in 2022 that's actually real? Like none.
It's a reality show.
But you may watch like the dating shows that's reality shows. But those are not even real.
No.
They're gaslighting shows because they gaslight you to believe something that's not really real. What we know from people who've been watching Basketball Wives and Housewives of Atlanta or any Housewives show is that we know it's not real. But when you put in colorism, it changes the narrative of the show and it makes it real.
Yep.
Then
it's not.
It takes it down. Because do you see the white ones doing this?
Nope.
Because you know why?
Oh, they call the feds on each other.
They know they will call the feds, but guess what? They're going to still show up on the next episode. And when they get out of jail, they're going to be back on the season after that.
Yeah.
We are hurting our own selves, putting these narratives in our shows. And that's why, and when they get canceled, we're going to be like, we ain't got nothing else to watch. You know why? Because we believe this is colorism. We believe that this.
And that's what I was saying. It's not that the shows are not good no more. It's the fans making the shows not good anymore because they want to keep putting these narratives to every damn thing.
Can I ask this question? Because I was like, you have like, okay, so I say this and then I'm gonna get into my question. So you have fans who actually watch the show from the beginning. You have the sometimey fans who, sometimes they watch the show, sometimes they don't.
Well, I'm gonna just stop you there. The fans that was watching the show from the beginning are not believing in these things.
Right.
It's the people that's on YouTube. I'm gonna just say this: people on YouTube, because I was on
Twitter.
I was on a specific channel. I will tell you this, and literally, we're talking about Basketball Wives. They never watched any episode of the show. They want to talk shit about it.
That's what I was getting into. So I was like, you have the fans who have been watching the show since the beginning. You have the sometimey fans that while they did watch the show from the beginning, they kind of fell off. Then they'll come back and fall off and come back. You have the people who only have watched clips on social media, so you don't get a full scope of things. And then you just have regular trolls. So then I was like, you have all these people and you have a difference of opinion. So now the difference of opinion then gets pushed off onto the people on the show. But then here's my question in the sense of Wendy and Candace.
But just stop there. All those people that you named, there's one specific group that actually watched the show. So you have all these other people who are destroying it, and that's why we're going to lose these shows, because you named the people who've been watching the show from the beginning. You named trolls. You've named people who have issues with the show. You've named like 4 other things of people who are watching these shows who want to just destroy the show. But the fans who like to watch it are going to lose it because of these people.
So then I was getting into the question of, for y'all, so looking at the tweet that Candace and Wendy made and the way they were talking, I was like, are you talking to the, not saying that this is what's going on the show, but are you talking to the people who watch the show, who review the show, the bloggers and everybody else? Is that who you're trying to talk to in a sense of, are y'all do you see this? Is this what y'all seeing? Or is this what y'all think is going on? Because in my head, it was like, who are y'all talking to? Are y'all talking to us? Because I don't follow neither one of them. So I don't know what y'all timeline look like. I don't know what your comments look like. So who exactly are you talking to? Because at this point, it now seems like, oh, this is going to be a big thing on the show, and this is being put on the show. But are you saying
I don't think it's a thing on the show this season, because nobody has really like pointed this part out. Like, oh, this is going to be a part of the season, because, well, we know the best part that we have seen is that Ashley and Candace are friends.
Right. And Karen is going to stand up.
Nobody is like, oh, they're going to take them down for colorism. Like, nobody's talking about that. They're talking about Candace and Ashley being friends again and taking down Gizelle. Which is, how can that even be colorism? Because Gizelle's a light-skinned woman. So again, if you're asking this question, there's the answer to it. But that's not what it is. It's the fact that that people who don't watch the show cause issues, and they cause unnecessary things for the shows that we want to watch. But then we don't have nothing to watch for that. There's no black shows. You know why? Because we cause these issues with shows.
But the fans do that. But then the people on the show also plays in.
Not the fans.
Well, the people the people that do it, but also then the people that are on the shows want to be the fave of the show. So they push the narrative of those things to make the people go, oh.
Like they'll see a clip and they'll say, oh yeah, I agree, Wendy. It was this. I can't believe they treated you like this, but never watched none of the seasons. Didn't even know what happened, because we don't know what happened. We don't know what was said, what was done, or anything like that. And then that in turn makes the cast member get a bigger head. Like, I got people out there really seeing this and feeling this.
It's that you don't. Okay, so you said see a clip. It's the y'all don't see what gets me to the point of I blow up. Y'all are not seeing everything, or you're ignoring everything that has been said to me, done to me. But the moment I blow up, I'm in the wrong. I'm the wrong one. It's the same thing.
So let me ask you this. Let's say that Wendy and Candace win, right? And they cancel everybody else on the show. Are you watching Potomac?
Hell no.
Absolutely.
Nobody's watching it.
Here's the thing. I don't even know.
Like, we love hate. Like, I do not like Gizelle. She's my least favorite.
I don't like Gizelle. I think that Robyn is boring, because
but I don't want to
be honest. If Robyn goes, I think
Gizelle's ass. If Robyn would, I would love to see a split of them, just so I could just see Robyn's personality by herself.
Yep, we've been saying
Ashley and Karen can hold it down by themselves, but if I'm depending on Wendy and
Candace, no
way.
Absolutely not. Because one, you destroyed a whole show for no damn reason. Now we're here with you, and now colorism has taken place, and you won.
The whole dynamic.
And now, what are you going to talk about? Now, where the storyline go?
I don't. Here's the thing, and it's just like I'm a Libra, so I tend to try to see every side of everything.
I'm a Virgo. I'm just straightforward. I see what's going on.
And I also have a Gemini rising, so it like automatically in my personality, it even if it's not just like based off my zodiac signs, I want to see every side of everything so I can get a full scope of what's going on. And it's just like, yes, saying these types of things, putting this type of stuff on people, whether it's colorism or anything else, tends to ruin a show. Because it does. And I'm talking about reality shows, because when it comes to like scripted shows, these are conversations on scripted shows, especially when you have a black cast on a scripted show. You have to talk about these things, because if you're living in a reality of
you don't have to talk about these things.
No, in a sense of it's the real world. Like you live in the real world, and there's everything.
We've been living in the real world for a long time.
She's talking about scripted shows. No, she's talking about on scripted shows when they bring up a conversation.
But when you're living in a real world, how many colorism conversations have you ever had?
No, that's not what she's saying. She's saying that scripted shows bring these things to the forefront to make a conversation
you're living in a real world.
No, not the show Real World. I watched that show. I mean, like,
no, I'm saying in like the actual real world.
No, she was saying that the scripted shows do this in the real world to bring conversations to the real world.
To the black shows.
Right, but she's saying that scripted shows take these kinds of shows and make conversations from the things that they say and do.
To cancel them. It's not to build conversation, because we're not having. Are you having these in your real life? No, none of us are having these conversations in our real life before this started happening. We're not having these conversations.
Not before, but now people are.
We have been supporting and proud of our different melanin colors. So this is a way to separate us in our melanin. Period.
But people are still having. That's because we're not having these conversations. Don't mean nobody's having these conversations.
And just because we're not having, don't mean that other people are having either.
Well, I do know people that have these conversations. That's what I'm saying. I know people that I don't have them, but I know people that do.
Listen, I started having these conversations because I always say this. I was like, I didn't know. Like, it took me going to college to learn this stuff, because now I didn't go to HBCU. I went to a PWI. So in the group of black people, it was like we had these conversations, and I was having these conversations with my my friends that, my black friends and my Asian friends, because they do have colorism in their community as well. So I'm having these conversations. So yes, I was having these conversations. It was like the point I was trying to make. In reality TV, nobody wants to talk about this stuff, because most of reality TV, you're just coming just to watch like somebody else's life.
It gets too serious when you have these conversations in reality. Nobody wants that.
It gets serious really fast. But you see some scripted shows, especially when it's a black cast and you're focusing on the black experience, sometimes they do, pick a conversation to, like, you pick a topic to have a conversation about. So like for like Blackish, for example, they had a conversation about colorism. And I was like, okay, so now I'm learning something else about colorism and how it affects like the younger people, because maybe I was blinded, maybe I had blinders on, or maybe it just like wasn't affecting me, because I'm a brown skinned girl, always have been, always like will.
Well, what was the conversation on Blackish that they had with this?
So it was Diane, and Diane is
I remember the episode, but tell me how this was handled though. I want you to tell me.
Trying to remember the whole entire episode in my head, but I just remember her talking about how
they made this. They talked about how every hue of black was beautiful. Period.
Yes, and
I think and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is that because again, and I think Yammer said nobody wants to have a big conversation. We do, but the thing is that we don't have one. The reason why is because it's always light skin or dark skin. There are other hues of black that we don't have conversations about. Period. It's like we just get lost in the sauce, and if they feel like you're lighter than them, then you're light skinned. If you're darker than them, you're dark skinned. The reality is that there's a whole
brown skin community
that people don't never talk about.
Because I'm brown.
That's the problem for real. For me, if we want to talk about colorism, we don't have a conversation about colorism at all. It's dark skin versus light skin because of how slavery brought us into that.
Yeah,
but
and we talked about that.
as black people, we're not concerned about colorism. We're concerned about who's darker, who's lighter, and it doesn't matter about the middle people. So then, are we really worried about colorism? Because
and how far we can get because of our skin color.
We're worried about who. We're worried about ourselves. The reality is that we're all beautiful in our own skin tones. Period.
Yep.
Because I know some very beautiful dark skinned people. I know some very beautiful brown skinned people. I know some very beautiful light skinned people. But we don't have that conversation. We're so worried about
we're all black.
The conversation about who's not, and who's better. But what about who is? We all good. We don't have that conversation, and so we change the narrative about what it looked like.
Then the people that do
is that it don't matter what part of the melanin that you are, you're beautiful. But we're so concerned over who's better and who gets treated better. But when
that's what it's about.
We treat each other better in whatever melanin tone that we have, then it changes the narrative. That's where the story comes in at.
Exactly. And people only reuse colorism to get ahead. That's why they use it, to try to get ahead and one up somebody, because they don't like me. So they want the dark skinned ones want to go, they don't like me because I'm dark skinned, to get sympathy. And then the light skinned people like, well, I didn't even do it's never just
we're not in slavery anymore. And we're not fighting against each other anymore. So we should be able to celebrate every color of melanin, and then that will change the narrative of that. We cannot fight against each other.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Anymore. Unfortunately, and I say this unfortunately because I would love for all of us, we're not all gonna like each other, because nobody likes somebody 1,000%.
White people, all shades of white people don't. The Asian people don't. The Indian people don't. Any other race don't. So that's not a different storyline. But what our issue is when it comes to black people is that we have a lot of more shades of black. And when we celebrate every spectrum of those blacks,
we'll get somewhere.
Conversation. Until then, we're going to be doing conversations like this where it's colorism. No, I just have a nasty attitude. Oh, I just don't like this person. Oh, maybe you just don't look good, and I want to make you look better, but you're offended because I said it because I'm a different skin tone. Those are the conversations we need to have, because we are black. Period. And when you pull over, it don't matter what color of melanin that you are, they're gonna take your ass.
But here's
okay, they still see you as that black girl.
Yeah, and they would discriminate against your ass no matter what your shade is. So therefore,
but we as black people
want to keep each other down.
But here's the thing with colorism, and then I'm gonna have to get off because I gotta be up to go to the gym in the morning. I've been doing that. Yippee. Couldn't even go out today. Let me tell y'all real quick. We was trapped in the house like them people in Cujo, because these dogs was around our house.
Well, hold on. Let's stay on the conversation that we had.
With the whole situation of, because Dix mentioned that it was just like, oh, they say this for sympathy. I was like, just looking at like people in different situations when they've had to deal with colorism. Most of the time, from what I see, not from what you see, just from my perspective, is these people are, have people, maybe like stitch something or in their comments or talking to them like you're like downing them for their features or downing them for their skin tone. So then that there is colorism. Now that's the examples that I've seen. Now I can't say for anybody else, but those are the examples of what I've seen, because you either have, and it's not just the black people doing it. You have other people, and that's racist.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yep. But it's not just like black people doing it. And it's not just black people it's happening to, because I'll be in different people's like comments or looking at their stuff, and they'll get down for, how they look, their different features, texturism, all that stuff. And then mostly on their skin, you have the, oh, you're too dark, or, you're too light. And it's these different things. And it's just like, do y'all not see what this is? Like, you really are being colorist at this point, because you're saying you're too dark, you're too light, or, talking to the brown skin people, you're this, you're that. And it's just like, in those instances, I see that. And it's just like, now, what point, like, what do you get out of saying this to somebody? Like, does this make you feel better?
What happened if people just doning on each other? It's not colorism.
Hold on, let me tell you this. You know what else bothers me is that darker skin or lighter skin people choose what brown skin people are.
Right.
They would say, "Oh no, you light skin," or "No, you really are dark skin." They
Because they
choose
don't.
that, and
They
so
just
then
choose
you're
all the
stuck
same.
in a battle with people who are choosing that, and that's what I've been saying for a very long time because I don't like this. The color that I am, I don't feel like I'm light skinned. I don't feel like I'm dark skinned. I feel like I'm brown skinned.
Thank
And
you.
I'm out for every skin tone. I don't choose
And I
one or
fade
the
in the
other.
winter.
I don't watch a show and be like, oh, this is colorism because she talked this way. Because just the same way that Candace other people, I know light skinned people who talk the same damn way. The
Yep.
same way that Gizelle does people when she's dirty and she's nasty. I know dark people who do the same thing. So I don't make a decision when it comes down to this. And this is why I'm saying that I feel like colorism is bullshit.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
the
when you think about
reality
it,
is that
Candace.
it's a personality issue. It's not a color issue.
For
Right.
this
Thank you.
show, it's a personality issue. For
No,
whatever
it's
Okay.
happened,
not. It's definitely not because Karen and Gizelle are both light skinned women, and they say the worst shit to each other, and they never like, "Oh, this is colorism," or
no,
"This
so
is the
Jeff, I
problem."
said,
They think it's funny because they go at it, but you know what they do? They make up in like
They go home and they
three
sleep
episodes
well. They
later.
don't care.
They
yeah, but
never make a big issue and make it a thing for
so
black
Jeff,
people to be like,
Because it's
"Oh, man,
called
I can't
talking
like
about
this
each
show
other.
anymore,"
so
because
Jeff,
Karen and wait, hold on. They don't never make it a big issue like, oh, Karen and Gizelle did this, so I can't watch it. Now, other people do that, and I've seen that because they're like, well, because Candace can't do it, but Candace can do it because, but the
She
issue
do
is
it.
that black people make it an issue, and I'm saying all shades of black people, all shades of melanin, make it an issue when she does it. It's not just light skinned people; it's actually the shades of people that she is as well. But they
Mm-hmm.
blame it on everybody else besides the fact that she is the thing
A
that she.
valid person.
So because just like you said, Karen said Karen said some things about Gizelle, but Gizelle was never like, oh my God, I'm so offended. I can never, because you know what? 3 episodes later, she's okay with Karen.
And she
right,
cussing her right back out as well.
yeah,
Right.
I was
And people,
agreeing, but I was agreeing with you on it not being. I
And
don't
I'm
think,
sorry, I was just
yeah,
making a point. It's not a skin color issue.
and that's the thing. I was like, I can't say in this instance that that's what colorism is the issue here. I agree that this is a personality issue, as in, I don't like your personality. I don't like you. That's what I'm getting from this situation. Now, what everybody else gets from it, they get from it. Am I willing to learn from everybody and watch the situation happen, and so I can learn different sides? Yes, but when it comes to these reality shows, this is a personality issue because y'all can't put. Okay, so using Bad Girls Club as a quick example.
Mm-hmm.
It's reality shows in general are just so big social experiments by pushing people with different personalities together who probably wouldn't have been friends in real life if you
Yep.
had just met them off the
yep,
street. So
exactly.
then you put them all together
And
in a friend group, and I use that as a quotation.
this comment.
Yeah, she's still salty, but that's because that lady got more than her.
But she
That's all
treated
that
she
is.
treated Monique so bad. Nobody said, "Oh, well, this is colorism." Nobody, because you can't be color. It can't be colorism because Giselle's light skinned and she's dark skinned. But that's my thing, and I'm so sorry to keep cutting you off. But this is my thing. Since she walked on the show and said she had 4 homes, Gizelle has not liked that lady, and it was
Mhm.
never an issue about color. It was always an issue for Gizelle for years.
It was her
So I don't
status.
want to hear no colorism issue when it comes to Potomac because Gizelle was the first person who treated a darker skinned lady bad and nobody
Mm-hmm.
said anything about it. It was never colorism.
And not even Monique. Monique knew it was because you
Exactly.
just
Never
mad
even
because my
mentioned
pointer
it.
up.
She
Yes, and
never mentioned it.
I want people, because especially because you're not gonna know it's colorism until you learn about it completely. I need y'all to just go
You
get
don't think
educated.
Monique knows what colorism is?
No,
No, she's talking about the audience, babe.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking about the audience. Like I
Because I
believe,
just get upset at this conversation.
yeah,
So I'm like,
no, I
people
believe,
don't consider the other colors of black people, and to me, that's colorism. Because how do you not consider another color than you?
Mm-hmm.
listen, I believe
I'm
that
sorry, I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
she does know, like, it's not about Monique. I'm saying that people in general, just like I said, I didn't know what gaslighting was, but
Mm,
I had kept hearing that word. So the minute that I started to take it upon myself, because it was like you have a choice to be educated or
Educate,
ignorant.
educate
When
yourself.
I went and learned what gaslighting was, and I said, and it got explained in a way that I would understand, I was like, oh, that's what this is. And then when it gets related to a situation that it, like, I've been gaslighted, I was like, oh, okay, so I've been through this. Now I understand what this is. This wasn't with a, a family member. It wasn't with a relationship, like a romantic relationship. This was with someone I considered a friend. Okay, I get it. And people need to learn exactly what is colorism, what is texturism, what is featureism. Like, y'all have to actually go and learn what these things are, because sometimes they do
They're
like to
not gonna
throw
do
out,
that.
Yeah,
they do like to throw out what, but you see, I'm a whole different person. I'm a different person
We
than
all
this.
are, but
Yeah,
they ain't
so
gonna do
they
that. That's
like
too
to
much
throw
like right.
out they like to throw out these words, and it's just like, you can't say that it's this if it's not this. If it's just like you don't like somebody, then you don't like somebody. And I
Period.
was saying, what can't, like, the in reality shows, it's just like one big social experiment. None of these people would have probably even met if they wouldn't have been forced to be friends in quotation marks on these shows. Maybe y'all run in the same circles, maybe y'all had met one or two times, but y'all weren't friends. So now we get to see how this plays out. Now, if your personality is bad and your personalities don't mesh, that's where we're getting conflict from. And conflict, as a person who went to school for this, when it comes to production, they love it. They're going to eat it up because it's going to be best for a show. Now, if you take it a step further and be like some of these people on these different reality shows where you're spitting your hate and spewing your hate, now it's the time for a real conversation, because most of the time, not all the time, most of the time we see these people get kicked off a show. And I say the only true reality show where you're getting every single thing, you're getting exactly how these people act and you're learning about them, I would say Big Brother.
Big
Because
brother.
while
I knew you was
yeah,
gonna say that.
Big Brother, because while you get the episodes that are like edited together and then given to
They
the
also
world,
give you behind the scenes.
you're getting live feed
Mhm.
24/7, unless they go down because they have a competition or you have somebody yelling over the wall. You're getting to see these people 24 hours a day for however long they're in the house in real time.
It's
Talk
what the real world used to be.
Yeah, getting like real time of what they're talking about. And most of them are so ignorant to the fact that live feeds are a thing and that people are religiously watching these and updating the world about it and sending out clips, that one guy was like, wanted an all white alliance and didn't expect
Yeah.
anybody to
Saw
know.
business talking about that.
And the two other white cast members sat on it for 3 weeks until it was either you send the black girl home or you send the white girl home, or hey, because we're, basically a team and you're my final two, let's just throw him under the bus, even though we sat on this for a while. And everybody's just like, well, it doesn't matter that you told at this point, you sat on it, you knew about it. But that, in a sense, that's real reality TV, because while you have the stuff that is like edited together to show you what the storyline of this week is, we get to see everything else that nobody, like, they're not showing you on regular TV, versus you have these
But we don't have
reality.
to watch it on TV. We can watch it in real life.
Yeah.
We've seen both sides of the story, and we cannot sit around and say that the darker skin don't go against the light skin, and the light skin don't go through the against the dark skin, and we cannot say that either side don't forget about the brown skin people. So the reality, there is no color. The colorism is the fact that we all have that issue, and I'm tired of watching shows that I like being canceled because people want to call it colorism. And that's what my biggest plight was when it came to Basketball Wives, and it's what it is when it comes to HouseWives of Potomac. And I hear what you're saying. I love what you're saying. I watch Big Brother, but you're making some big valid points, and I understand that. But my point is that as Black people, we don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
Not
I don't like people
colorism.
in general.
We don't like
And we
each other.
come up with excuses to
Until we
make to
understand
go
that,
for it.
like, don't cancel our shows because of that.
I don't like people in general. I'm equal opportunity. I just don't like you.
I mean,
'Cause I don't-
And
even
that's
the best
fine to
love.
say that, but make sure you add every type of people in that if you don't like people. Because when it comes down to it, we don't cancel those people's show, other people's shows. We cancel our own shows because colorism, because of one side versus the other side, and it doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, when I say it, and before people could say, well, no, I'll be like, no, I'm equal opportunity. It's everybody. I don't care who you are. If I don't like you, I don't like you. It does not matter what you look like. It does not matter your sexuality. It does not matter about anything other than the fact that if I don't like you, I don't like you. And
And
it's
I
just
agree
going
with
to be
Velda.
that.
Folks use colorism as a cop out a lot.
Yep.
They
That's,
do.
but what
Because I
happened to
wonder
us
what did
just
Wendy
joning
say?
on people?
have you first of all, it's 2022, so you do have people who are very hypersensitive. You have people who feel like you can't say this, you can't say that, and then you have people who who grew up like us, like we gonna play the dozens, like
right.
you
And
can't
see,
you
and
can't
this
bully.
what Young Rich is saying is true. Potomac is not gonna get canceled anytime soon. Andy won't allow that. Basketball wise, on the other hand, we're gonna pray on that one. And that's my thing.
Yeah.
Before they brought colorism up, that was never even a thought.
Before they decided to
Right.
change
That's
the
why
cap.
Wives was doing
It
great.
was never even a thought.
But here's the thing, it was even before colorism. It was like before they decided to try to shake up the cast that nobody asked for, and we were cool with the cast we had. So there's
No, because when
But
it
even
first
after
happened,
that, we were
you
good.
know what happened when it first happened? It was because Tammy and Evelyn started beating up bitches for no reason. That's what it was about. It had nothing to do with their color because Kenya was dark skinned and Keisha was light skinned. So the color wasn't even the issue. They were just beating up bitches for no reason. Colorism didn't even matter. They was beating up light skinned and dark skinned bitches at the same time.
Throwing drinks in
So
Susie's
we
face,
can't
everybody
so
was
we
fine.
can't call colorism when it comes to this. Even when it came down to Tammy. Tammy was a light skinned girl, and it was Evelyn and it was Jennifer, two light skinned and a Puerto Rican lady going against her. So there's no colorism there. So they couldn't call it then. So when you call it when it comes to OG, when she's just looking a mess, and they're like, "Girl, just fix your wigs and put on better clothes because your boobs is looking like this." They want you to change it. Period. It wasn't about colorism. It was about you look a mess.
But I wonder if OG was watching this season because we drugged the hell out of Malaysia for looking bad. We drugged a lot of people this season for looking
Malaysia
bad.
looked a mess her first season.
Yeah,
So did
the
Jackie
workout.
Christie.
He looked a mess this last
Looked a mess
season.
too.
no.
Jackie Christie didn't fix her fashion until like the fourth season.
I think OG tops everybody. She looked a hot ass mess. Like when
I'm
she
just
sat down
saying,
with
but if
Malaysia.
you want to say the
Came in
reason,
looking like this in that swimsuit and Tammy said with the Jiffy popcorn top hat, we
The
knew it
best
was
she
a
looked
mess.
is when she was in her, tribal attire. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but
But it wasn't even tribal attire that was supposed to be swimsuits that she was making.
oh yes.
Look,
but I
They
just said that
tribal attire. They wore tribal attire to support her. That's not what she came in.
I like.
But I just said that to say what I don't forget the hell. Oh, I said that Malaysia looked a mess because that was the reason that OG said that it was colorism because they were talking about how she looks. So
And
I'm
how her
saying
toes was
now
hanging
if she
out.
watched last season, what is the excuse? Was it colorism when we was dragging the hell out of
She could come on this season and
Quisha's
talk about
wig?
she could come on this season and talk about how British look. British looks like a
That's
damn
what I'm
grandma
saying. So how
every
did she
time.
feel that same way now that it's not her?
But she messed that up because she was so offended by how they talked about her that she called colorism. Then when they asked her what it was, she said everything but colorism. She was like, if your mama tell you that your black ass need to go in the house, that's colorism. My mama said that too. Well then, girl, then why are you calling these women on national television talking about that? You saying what she said was just bullshit.
Wait, it was. I want to say this. I liked OG when she was sitting down there in her little outfit that when it was on the trip, and she had her glasses on. And
after how many seasons?
No, I'm talking about that. That was her first season, where she was sitting down there at the when Yo Fave Evelyn was patting the puss. And she said, "Ocho, I like that little thing
that
she
was
had."
not her first season.
That was her second season, baby.
Yeah, that was her second season.
That was her second season.
And she started dressing better. She started looking better, and she had better comebacks. And she wasn't trying to beat people up looking bad.
Yeah, that's when that was the season CC left after that season. Yeah, that was her second season.
People.
Remember when she sat down with Malaysia and I think it was Malaysia, and they were going back and forth, and her wig was like pulled all the way back, and it was horrible.
It was Malaysia and Evelyn.
I mean, well, if you got
and Malaysia was like, your wig is going back. I can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: if you have bad wigs, you have bad wigs. But now
it's your first season, so honestly, we expect that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Look at Drew.
Tammy went through it.
First season.
So if Tammy went through it, and then you went through it, how is that colorism? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Here's the thing: if you're a person like Robert, Ricky Ricardo, Rick James is what I like to call her, okay? If you like Robyn down there with the receipt paper hair, it looked like it was supposed to be cheetah print, but it didn't work out. And your hair look
She
a
looked
mess.
like a cheetah.
And your hair look a mess every season. That there is not gonna be fixed. Like that was like her,
They made fun of Royce.
what Rose did?
Exactly. And she had good hair, as they say.
They just didn't like her hair was sweating out. Like, I mean, on camera.
And
Like,
Royce couldn't dress.
I thought they didn't like Royce because she was a dancer.
That too. That added on.
So let's go there. They didn't like Drea because she was
The
Quote
video
unquote the
vixen.
hoe.
a hoe. Yeah, I didn't want to say that. But
sorry.
yes, they didn't like Drea because of that. And Drea lighter than everybody that's on the damn show.
Exactly.
Right, they bullied her, made her cry, brought her kid into it. They did all this, like
all of
Not
that.
the kids.
They brought
Yes.
in Drea's information about her losing her kid.
What she lose the kid? Oh,
well,
what?
allegedly they had on the blogs that she was out partying with Chris Brown. While
Drea admitted on the show.
Yeah.
But look at Ross and look at whatever the damn Royce. Look at her now. You want to bring people kids into it, and look what your child going through. Karma is a motherfucker.
Did Royce bring that up?
Well, Royce wasn't the one that brought that up.
No, I'm just saying, but Karma's a bit. You can get, but Royce also stopped liking her for just because everybody else did.
No, but Royce and I don't think
Wait, Miss Drea said they was they was filming the scene and the wig was still in the car.
That wig was gone.
That thing was moving. I thought she had something up a wrap up under that
wig
damn
was
thing.
sliding back, and when Malaysia said it's sliding, I can see it. I died.
Now that's what you call moving the goalpost. That thing was moving the goalpost.
listen,
That wig
like,
was sliding back all the way back to Calvary.
Like Karen Wig did on Real Housewives. Remember, she was like turn her wig around. That was OG wig.
But
Young Rich, let
But
the
see, I'll
sign.
say this.
Wait a minute. Let Sonya Richardson go. Okay, listen.
We don't want her.
The queen of the Housewives of Atlanta. I don't see it.
Young Rich, you gonna have
Okay,
to let
with
that go.
Sonya, I think the reason why she didn't have so much bad wigs is because her sister is her hairstylist. Her sister
But
is
her
a
wig,
cosmetologist.
just
Her wigs aren't always that bad. They were bad at when they went on vacation. That was horrible. I don't know what happened.
But just D, her wig always needed to be pulled down. I swear, every time I saw her, I wanted to reach through the TV and pull that damn wig down.
When Kenny
Royce and Drea was not on the same season, were they? They were on two different franchises.
Yes,
yeah,
that's what I was like. Dick, what you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh well, I got them mixed up then.
Yeah, no, it was the
Royce was in Miami and
it was the Govan sisters. My bad.
The Govan sister and a little bit of Jackie too. You know, all kind
because the Govan sister and Drea
and Royce never changed her fashions.
And that's because they tried to say that they didn't know who her baby father was, her son's baby father. So they tried to say like, oh, her baby father.
Who with Drea?
Yeah, that was like
no. When they brought up Drea's information, it was because she lost her kid. That's why they was dragging her, because that one girl, I can't remember what her name was.
They did speculate on who her child's father was a lot.
They probably did, but that girl was treating Drea like she was a hoe.
They were mad.
She couldn't be around them. She kept telling Jackie, "Don't let her be around." Like they treated Drea really bad.
Really bad.
Like, they treated her worse than they treated her worse than they treated OG.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want Drea to come back. I don't care what nobody says.
She's not coming back.
Yeah, she's not coming
back. I know she's not coming back, but I would like her.
No, they said they extend the invitation to her every season, and she's just like, no.
Yeah, I tweeted her years back. I just would love to see her. She tweeted me back and said she had never come back on there.
I feel I said I
wanted.
I can dream, y'all. I can dream.
Yes,
I said I wanted that girl. What's her name? Her name's over the S. The one who got drunk when Brandy came back. Said something when she did the makeover for that girl.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't know her name though. The thick, she was kind of thick.
Yes, and she was like, I didn't even know I had fans.
The tall girl, she was tall. I remember.
Samaya,
surprise that girl. Yeah, she was gonna surprise that girl with a makeover, and so she wasn't gonna be offended.
And she was ghetto as shit, but I liked her though.
First of all, Ashley gets young Rich. Ashley gets called football head, or if some other people like to call her Stewie Griffin. People talk about Amia's feet and they call her La Cienega Boulevardes from the Proud Family
all the time, and
all the time.
nobody says that's colorism. Like, let's make it right. Let's make it real.
And it's the thing. Candace and Ashley are one in the same.
Yes,
people are forgetting that Ashley had that mouth. That baby calmed her down because she don't want nobody talking about her kids. Now, that's just what that is.
Because that boy look like
he did not have any kids. She'll be going in on all their kids. She'll be saying, I'm trying to tell you, they are one and the same. Think about it. They actually came on the show as friends. You know what I mean? Like, that's who is on. Like, they are one in the same.
Right.
Yes, they are.
So I'm kind of surprised that they are back friends just because how she talked mess about her. But maybe they're becoming the whole, you know what? We see each other. You know what I'm saying? I see.
I think Ashley got something up her sleeve.
I do too.
Yeah,
I think so.
She's still in Gizelle in them
Let's
pockets.
be friends because bitch, I got something for your ass after this.
Wait,
but you see her spreading the rumor about Walmart. I mean,
now let me show you why we are not friends. Because Ashley, I would never be.
She did it before. Because
and you see she's spreading the stuff about Walmart.
That her and Ashley were fine. When she wrote that statement, she said, "I thought we were good." She's like,
and people never blamed her. Like, people didn't give her the same energy when she did the stuff with Candace that she did with Robyn.
No, but I was going to ask, did anybody hear? Because I wasn't sure if it, like, in the trailer, because I got to do my before the season for that, so I'll probably watch it again to make sure that's what I heard. But it was Chris was texting me at.
So let me give you the scoop on that. So y'all know I talked to Chris. And if y'all don't know, y'all know.
I know, brother.
I do. I like Chris Bassett better than I like his wife.
So
you and me both.
The reason why he sent that text message is because he manages the W. So they were having another party on the rooftop at the W, and he told us why she should have came there. It's no scandalous shit.
I ain't believe it. Honestly, I didn't believe it. Chris is not stupid. Let me say that.
Not even his case. They're not even his kind of person. Look at Candace. Look at Candace. You can tell they're not even his cup of tea. To look at Candace and to look at them, there's no comparison.
Right.
None. And I even if so, I don't.
But I think that's why they cut to this thing with Gizelle saying that she didn't trust something around her, because that we don't know that he said that he would, if it was anybody, he would be with Gizelle. But the reality is that he runs the rooftop at the W over there, and that's why he told her she should have came over to the W. So y'all can take that back to y'all's blogs, whoever's watching it. That's why Chris said that.
I was trying to.
I will use it on my channel.
Because I was trying to, because like I'd like to do the before the season, and it's just like I didn't know if anybody else heard that and what was trying to be insinuated. But Gizzard, let's be clear on something. You do this every season. You have to cover everybody's husbands every season. We're getting sick of it.
She puts it on everybody else's husband except for the ex-husband. Like, this is just that's the part that, like, but you know what? This is kind of, so I don't want to say like I respect Gizelle. I'm gonna just say I understand it, because she's just trying. It doesn't matter who, anybody is fair game. Anybody.
Hold on, wait a minute. Miss Drea, he said that on Twitter, so he didn't tell me that personally. He said it on Twitter, so that's why I said it. If Chris told me something personally, believe me, until I got proof that clearance that I could say it, I would never say it. But Chris said that on Twitter.
Yeah, like Chris is really smart. Like Chris is not.
Chris will tell you. Chris will tell you all the business if you talk.
Yep.
Yes, he will.
Yes, he will. He gets.
I just don't like the way
drink, and he's good to go.
Yeah. I don't like the way Candace treats him. That's what I don't like.
I think
that the show portrays him as treating her bad. I think talking to him and knowing his friends that live in DC, because I've lived there and I know a lot of their friends. I know you are. I know you are. But because I know a lot of their friends, like I don't know if y'all remember Clifton Ross, who is Candace's friend. Me and Clifton are like really good friends. But Chris would never like disrespect. Like, I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I know he would.
Our friends on social media because of Clifton.
Yeah, I know he wouldn't. Look how he let her treat him. You're not doing nothing on the girl. He love that girl.
I don't think that he treats her bad. I don't think that he treats her bad in real life.
I didn't say how he treats her.
No, she says she doesn't like
the way she talks to him on the show. You know that he really loves her, because no man is dealing with that.
For the show, though, I don't think that. In real life, that's not how she talks to him.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. But if you can do that in public, you gotta love that lady.
Well,
Louder.
if we can receive Gizelle making up relationships every season, then we can receive her talking to Chris like that every season.
This is what a lot of people have to do. They have to separate that these people are doing a job for our entertainment only. And this is not even real to them. And then on top of that, the way Chris and, Candace and Chris has been introduced to us is that he is not working like she is. She doesn't have the mother take. So they're going to play off of that. You know what I mean? Just as though Gizelle don't have no man, never have no man.
But I still ain't got to like you guys.
Yeah. So this is what they're going to do, so just like he even tweeted, like, I guess after 6 seasons, here we go. It's my turn, So it just makes, like, this is just what they do.
He knew it was coming. I don't think Candace did because she was riding for them.
They set it up last season.
She knew it was coming. And I'll tell you
what, the way she was riding for him.
Because when I talk to Chris, I don't talk to him on Twitter. I don't talk to him on Instagram. I talk to Chris on Facebook. That's a very personal space. So the conversation that we've been having or we've had, because even when that other channel went down, me and Chris had a very interesting conversation. I will just say that, because they went against him all the time. And I gave a lot of information that me and him had talked about. And he was like, now you see how I feel. We were talking shit about you. And I didn't say touche. Touche to you, because I understand what you've been through at this point.
That's a good way to look at it too. It's a real way.
Yeah.
It's real, But
sometimes you gotta go through it to understand it.
He's a good guy.
Understand it, he was like, and what you're going through ain't even close to what I'm going through, because what you're going through is real, and what I'm going through is fake. It's on the damn TV. Because I know, I know a lot of his friends, and a lot of stuff that we see on the show is not real for real, but the stuff that I went through was real. So he was like, your shit is real, like, touche to you. And I was like, hey, he was like, but I support you and I got your back. And that's a real man.
Yeah, Chris is definitely solid. If you
if he wants to a stranger, I can't see him not supporting his wife that way.
We'll see.
Oh, I believe that. Like I said, I know he loves that woman. Yeah. Ain't nobody make me believe different.
Honestly, we'll see what this season is giving. I truly just want to see why Miss Karen was hopped up and had that finger and was talking to Sharice like that. What she say?
I want to say something about her mama.
I want to see how far that goes.
I do too, because Sharice has been looking for that moment.
Yeah.
She wants her toe back in. She's everywhere, honestly. I'm not even going to say that. If you ever pay attention to every party and anything that they've ever had, she is there.
Not mic'd up.
That's why they was like, just give her a little bit of a check so she can just be satisfied.
Yeah. She should be ashamed of herself on them pictures they took for the show. Who told you to put on?
Because who told you to wear that different color red?
Yes.
That is a bottle of red wine, preferably Martell Host Inez wine.
I would have been like,
and a whole lot of dry.
Ma'am, please exit stage left. You're not welcome here with that.
She said, I'm about to have a moment. She was trying to be Kenya. I am the moment.
Here's the thing.
But you're not.
Also, only Kenya could be Kenya.
Only Kenya can be Kenya.
But you tried it, child.
When I do like the before the season, because I also like if they have a cast photo and individual, they took their pictures because like they did that and we got to see what the full outfits were giving. I'm gonna need y'all, and this is just for the women, because I'm pretty sure y'all watch SoDeb, okay? I'm gonna need y'all to tag the person who made your dress.
Well, I know who made Ashley's dress.
I know who made
Ashley's dress. Riley.
Yeah.
Riley Nash. Shout out to Riley Nash.
Yeah.
I know who
made me some Riley. That's my DC homegirl. I love her to death. I met her before.
That's one of my best friends' best friend.
I met her before and it was everything.
I know.
Have you ever been to one of her shows?
No, I wanted to go to what you was doing.
You have to go to one of her shows.
I watch all of them though.
Let me tell y'all something for y'all who don't know.
She does the damn thing.
Riley does Beyonce impersonations.
She's the number one Beyonce impersonator.
Literally, like the outfits that she when she does do it, she makes those outfits to the T.
Really? Where is she at? She in Nelly's?
She's in DC.
Yeah, she's in DC with my city. Yes, my daughter used to work in her apartment building.
It's one of the most amazing shows you'll ever go to. You will literally think you are watching
At a
Beyonce.
Beyonce concert. Yep.
Yes.
I went to my first show on my birthday, and my first one ever. And being even living in DMV, I've never went to Nelly's. I never went to any of that. So I'm
Remember with the Nellies?
I've never been. I heard, like, I know it, but I've never been. That's crazy, right?
What?
That's crazy.
And I lived there for only a short time, and I went to Nelly's.
I know it's sad, and I've been there my whole life. So sad.
Talking about these dresses, I was like, I know who made Ashley's dress. I know who made Candace's dress. And when I saw her, I was like, she giving Jessica Rabbit. And to find out that, yeah, that was the inspiration, I was like, shout out to y'all. But I was like, for
Candace,
the rest
but Candace killed it, though. She did the best to me.
That dress, and I'm not even a Candace fan, y'all. Although I said I'm gonna give her a clean slate this season, I'm gonna try to give her a clean slate. She gave everything. That dress her like the gloves that went up her arm. And I don't even like gloves. I don't like when people wear those. But she looks good.
And here's the thing.
And I will give it to Ashley after that. But I think Candace killed it. It was Candace and Ashley for me.
Candace, Ashley, and the Grand Dame for me.
Karen was number 3, but it would go from Candace to Ashley to Karen for me.
And then
all the rest of them can have it. I hope you don't figure that out. Fight over it.
The top 4 is the top 4 for the dresses. But I want y'all, when y'all like to have y'all singular photo, please tag the person who made the dress, because then that drums up business for them. Absolutely. And then it makes it easier for me to go research who made this dress. So when I bring it up and I'm talking about the dress and what I like, then I could say, then y'all can go check the other stuff out here. My top 4. Candace, because she was giving Jessica Rabbit, and I love me some Jessica Rabbit. Next we have to have Ashley. That style of dress actually works for her. I'm gonna need you to stick to it. Then we got Karen, because she was giving what it's supposed to be gave. I just didn't like her makeup, because
this is not a review.
I said I didn't like her makeup. And then Wendy looked amazing.
Oh yeah, Wendy did.
My top 4
good. I said the girls are sitting.
I was like, my top 4. Everybody else.
I'm just
if y'all are looking for who did Ashley's dress, it is Riley Knox. Y'all can find her on Instagram. She's done Monique's dress. I think she did.
She did Simone's dress. She did Toya's dress.
Did she do Ashley's dress last reunion too?
I can look.
No, I don't think so.
She did somebody's dress last reunion.
I'll look.
I know she did. No, yep, she did. I think she did. I want
to say she did somebody on RHOP for their reunion. I can't remember.
She did Married to Medicine too. She did Drew's dress. She did Drew's dress.
Yes.
And she did Toya and Simone's dress for the reunion on Married to Medicine.
Simone's, yeah. So look up Riley Knoxshaw, and even if y'all don't look up her to buy her outfits, support her in DC when she does her shows, when she does her Beyonce stuff, because it is everything. An amazing freaking show.
Okay. And she is so sweet. She is a sweetheart. My daughter used to work. My daughter used to concierge for the apartment she lives in. And she was shouting out my daughter on her IG story and sharing her business and everything. And when I talked to her in Messenger, she was like, "Yes, your daughter." And she gave my daughter her props and everything. I love Riley, and I loved her before that. But then
that's actually how I know Richie too.
You're right. They
best friends.
Yeah,
they best friends.
So Richie and my best friend are best friends. So when Richie was DJing in DC, I used to go to his parties. Like we used to be in VIP from Richie.
I'm still waiting to run into Richie Sky in these DC streets since he moved back. I need him to drop his location.
Yeah, he don't DJ no more though.
I know. I don't go to the club anyway.
He used to be everywhere. And I remember because my ex-husband honored, because Richie, and y'all look this up too. Rich used to have a show with my best friend called The Morning Wood Show. Mm-hmm. Go check that shit out because it was a really good show.
I want to go watch the reality show he was on.
What was that called?
Oh yeah, I heard that was a little spicy.
I don't even know, but I want to.
Before Richie did any of that stuff, he had a show on YouTube called The Morning Wood Show. So check that out if y'all haven't already done that. Check it out.
I love DJ Richie Scott. His spirit is so amazing.
He's such a sweet person and such a nice person and a genuine person.
I can see how him and Riley are best friends.
Yeah, and if you ever met Damon, you would know why they're all like their best. Like
Is that his
Damon,
husband?
Richie, and Raleigh are all best friends.
What's Richie's husband? Is that Richie's husband you talking about?
No.
Oh.
You can tell though.
His name is, matter of fact, his name is Mr. Bouvier. He actually has music on all platforms. Check his music out. But his name is Damon Bouvier. But on the streaming services, Mr. Bouvier. Check out his music. But Damon, Richie, and Raleigh are best friends.
Brandon, you're not gonna make it to the gym tomorrow.
No, I am, because I got to get up at listen, like I said, we was trapped in this house because these raggedy neighborhood hood rat dogs tried to attack our Yorkie, and we couldn't get out. And then they tried to step to her outside when we tried to let her out.
Not
the bathroom.
step to her.
They did. Like, first of all, I was taking out the trash. This is basically how it went. I took out the trash. My aunt was trying to let the dachshund in, or AKA the wiener dog, for the people who don't know. Was trying to let him in so they could eat in the morning. And when she went out there, these dogs bust through our back gate. And the Yorkie, she believed that she is big.
She's a big dog. Mm-hmm.
She tiny, but she believes she big, and she be ready to bite people and everything else. So she was barking at them. They bust through the gate, and she's fixed, because that's the thing when we call animal control. They was like, is she fixed? It was like, yes, because first of all, before she was our dog and lived here, she was my other auntie's dog, and the minute she got her, the first thing it was, she took her to get fixed. So they had her on the ground, was standing over her. My aunt finally got him in the house, and by the time I come back in, she was like, yeah. She was about to be hurt. So then it gets time for we about to leave, because she had an appointment to get ironed because she's anemic, and I was just like, I like to go with her so I can learn everything that's going on. They legit stepping on our porch, like up on the steps on the porch, and the dog is like our dog is trying to get out, like she's scratching on the door, barking at these people, and we can't step out, can't do nothing. We try to let them out to go to the bathroom, and now we got them on leashes just in case they try to break through the gate again.
I need to get that gate fixed.
No, the gate is fixed. The way it is was the because it has like a little lock mechanism.
So they can push on it and bust the lock.
The thing that's supposed to like go into the ground wasn't pushed directly into the ground. And so since it wasn't pushed directly into the ground, they were able to like break in. But the neighbors, because that's basically what they did. Hood rat ghetto dogs is basically what they are. We don't know them. And first of all, they broke off.
Listen, I dropped the link for my friend's music in the chat. I pinned it. So if y'all want to check his music out, please do that. Like I said, that's one of Richie's best friends. Check his music out, stream it, and support him, because it's really dope music. But my favorite song is Infinity.
Definitely check it out.
Well, I'm gonna drop down, y'all. My man just bought my food, so
I know that's right.
I'm about to get off too, so
I'm about to drop down.
Tell them where they can find you before you go.
Oh,
I'm subscribed already
on everything. Mm-hmm. So you can find me on Instagram, on YouTube. It's just D. I got some shows coming up. I know today we got to get together, but I know it's your birthday month, so I want you to enjoy it.
I'm already subscribed, just D. I've been subscribed.
Oh, thank you.
And it is my birthday month, so y'all can cash at me, Zelle me.
Yes, we need to have that party. I'm here for the party.
I'm gonna set it up. But I will be going to San Francisco for my birthday, so please cash at me and all the other things where I can get it before the next month. But go ahead.
We share a birthday month, sir.
Well, I'm in the bushes.
We share a birthday month.
But it's just if I have any mods in the chat, please pull up her link.
But I'm about to get down because I downed a bottle of water. I probably shouldn't have did that, but I'm trying to.
A bottle of water.
I like water, okay, but I'm also trying to up my water intake.
Oh God!
And
ouch.
Now I listen. This was a good conversation. Conversations like this need to be had.
Absolutely.
I hope tomorrow we are able to get out of this house and we're not stuck in here like them people from Cujo.
Why are you stuck in the house?
We couldn't leave. That's the thing.
Get there, tell us the whole story.
We couldn't leave. They was like running around, like legit could not leave.
Where you at?
Ohio.
I'm not in Ohio. I'm in Kansas.
I'm in Kansas. My bad.
What's going on in Kansas?
No, this was just like the dogs. Like I said, the dogs that like attacked my dog earlier in the
Oh,
morning. They then walked up on our porch, so we couldn't let her out, and then we can't get out.
girl, let me tell you something. My house is like the stray dog capital, and I'm gonna tell you something, and not even to cut you off. I've literally had 6 stray dogs. Literally, like yesterday, there was the dog. It was the cutest dog in the world. It was a puppy, and I want to bring it to my house, but the dog was just tearing up shit, and I had to go. It was the cutest little brown dog. I don't know what kind of dog it was, but I wanted to bring him into my house so bad. But before I could let him in, he was trying to come in my house.
So we found.
Oh no, you cannot come in here because why you trying to come to my house? I woke up the next morning. He was laying on my porch. He tore up paper towel, somebody's trash. I was like, the dog got to go because don't come out tearing up nothing.
So we've had
why he tried to come in your house?
Because I was going outside to go. I was trying to go check my mailbox, and when I'm walking out, the dog. I never seen the dog before, and all of a sudden, the dog is trying to walk into my house.
Okay,
I'm like, where did this dog come from? And so I'm like, I had to shut my door, and then I went back with a broom. Was like, back up, back up. The dog literally, he was very friendly. I mean, I was like, if it would have been like good for like a day or two,
he had no home.
I would have brought him in my house. But the next day when I got up, literally there was trash in my yard. There was paper towels on my sidewalk.
Like the Tasmanian devil.
I mean, that's what it seemed like it happened on my front yard. I was like, never, you can't come to my house.
So yeah, we've had incidents with stray dogs. There was a pretty little like brown pit bull with the prettiest blue eyes, and it was like a puppy. And she was under my aunt, because my aunt has a F-150. So at first she was under the F-150, and then she went down by the window that's by the basement. But we ended up giving her to the neighbor because we have small dogs and we can't handle a bigger dog. And then with these dogs that was running around the neighborhood, they broke, like, we don't know where they came from, but we know they broke off their chains from somewhere. Mm-hmm. Because they still had to, like, one of them still had the clip attached to their collar, and then one had the clip and the chain attached to them still. And they broke through our back gate, attacked our dog. She wasn't hurt, but was able to get in the house, and she was still trying to get out there to fight them, even though they bigger than her. She the smallest little thing ever. Then they got around front, like maybe a couple hours later, and the same thing happened, except now we in the house, and I had to call animal control because it's just like we don't know where they come from. Like, we don't know these dogs, and animal control never came. We took them out, like, so my aunt was like, in order for like the dog, their house dogs, so we only use them, let them out to use the bathroom, or if somebody's sitting on the front porch. So we had to take them out on leashes so they could use the bathroom. First time, they come running from the next door neighbor. They come running from their backyard trying to hop the gate. I was like, I told my auntie, so we trapped in here like the people from Cujo, because it's basically what this is, because we can't go anywhere.
Speaking of using the bathroom, I have to use it.
I'm about to drop now because I got to go.
Can we wrap this up? Because I already go to the bathroom.
No, I gotta go too. I've been holding it. So thank you for letting me up here. If you go live, I'll be in the chat. And,
I will be, and I'll be in yours as well. Yeah. Make sure y'all follow Ranting. If somebody's in my, if I have any mods, make sure y'all drop our link as well.
And I'll see y'all later. And it's our birthday month. So Deb, it's our birthday month.
It's our birthday month. When's yours?
Mine's the 26th.
Okay, mine's on the 22nd. I will be setting that live up very soon. So
I was supposed to be born the 23rd.
I was born on the 21st. But I made it for the 22nd.
I made it to the 26th. Probably would have been born on the 27th if I wasn't so late.
I was early.
Oh, I was late. Okay, I'll see y'all later.
All right, bye. And Thick Girl, so where they can find you?
At Prosperity.
Y'all put her link in the chat.
My name that's on the screen, Prosperity Thick Girl 40, and you can also catch me on IG at Cups by Thick Girl. I bling Crocs. I do everything. So if you're looking for wine glasses, cognac glasses, tumblers, blinged out Crocs, whatever it is, I can do it. Just hit me up in there.
All right. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Always. Always.
You know, I ain't been live in a very long time, so I'll be trying to come back.
Mm-hmm. Where is the? You still ain't ready for the basketball wives?
I'm waiting on them to come back.
No, the thing you and y'all supposed to been doing.
Oh no! So we are. Listen, I need to hit up Cindy because we are. But I think I'm gonna do a pre-recorded one first, so I can get all my brandy facts out, and then we're gonna talk about it.
You know you got to get them brandy facts out.
I gotta get my brandy facts out because y'all be listening to none of them. So, and I gotta prove why that Malaysia's bad and Brandy was just being a friend.
No, they're both bad, but okay.
Go off, Brandy was a friend, but that's all. That's all. But I love you.
You know I love you more. You know I love you more. But y'all, let me ask you quick. Why do them damn little ass dogs always want to fight the big people? My daughter had a teacup Yorkie, and I told y'all at this time I was living in the hood. Why the hell did my that dog try to fight two stray cats? Do you know you don't you don't mess with a stray cat?
I don't know, but thick girl, I got to pee.
Bye, baby. I just wanted to ask you that question because y'all was talking about dogs, and I'm just confused.
I love you. I will see you on I'm gonna find you when you on live, or I'll see you on my live next time.
All right. Yeah, gonna see you in your DMs. Okay.
All right. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. Make sure if you have not already done that, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification so you get notified every time I go live. If you are late, comment in the comments to keep me in the algorithm because y'all know I'm late in that. And I will see y'all on the next live.